Sad Scottish spacecraft program isn't possible anymore. It probably is, it's just not as easy to do, because you can't just take slaves and then promote them. Speaking of which, we could do some more moving around of slaves. Because I'd really like to get colonization of this area going. Although a large part of this is Romanizing. Because yeah, the province of Corsica is 26% Corsican, 10% Massilian, only 4% Italic. So we have a lot of assimilation to do, and in fact, speaking of assimilation, we need to go and make sure we are assimilating all the things. We actually are. Well, okay then. We are now 33% Roman. Yeah, the assimilation is taking a while. Ah, we could start a second colony now. And I think that Mazapian, being the next biggest culture, is going to get the colony. They're also the most unhappy. Oh, because we just conquered them. Fine. Migration attraction goes up. Pop assimilation goes up. Tarentum loses loyalty. Tarentum's kind of disloyal. We may well have problems with them in the future. And at this point, Lucanian has been integrated. We could unintegrate them. Pisses them off for 10 years. We're going to go for a homogeneous state. Another omen. Here we go. I'm thinking... I was hoping to see more about the modifiers they offer. Oh, there it is. Supply limit and wages. Mars we already know. Apulu. Manpower and Freeman happiness. Integrated culture, happiness and food. Popularity and aggressive expansion. I think it's got to be Mercury again. Keep the money rolling in. Seeing as our income does seem to have taken a bit of a hit. Yep, Tarentum's loyalty is definitely dropping, so we may well have a rebellion down there, which we will need to put down. But hey, that's just an opportunity to get more slaves. That's how this works, right? Gnaeus Cornelius, no longer importing veggies or papyrus. Stop cutting off my papyrus imports. Tuskia needs an import. Olives, you don't have grain. Apulia could also do with an import too. You do have grain. You do have fish. Livestock you have. Salt you don't. Veggies from the Antigonids. And the Volunarius needs replacing. Alright, so the Doctor. This is an important position. So Aaron's Claudius, you're 45. You have level 10 finesse. You could definitely do with some more statesmanship. I mean, actually having a level 9 with 95. He is also a red. Put you in. Oh, disloyal characters. Hostus Claudius. General. And he's taking command of the Legion. Is he the one that was hiring all the extra troops? It is him, isn't it? Yeah. Well, let's bribe his soldiers away from him. Oh, and my finances have suddenly recovered too. Publius Junius Mus has just died. That was another legion. No, it wasn't. What was Mus? Oh, the Augur. Augur is an important position because this is the power of the omens. Marcus Valerius Corvinus. Oh no, the Junii I need. Wow, they've lost all of their power. Mus was apparently the guy holding this family together. So the blues need another position, and the reds could do with losing too. I mean, Paulus is only 1 point worse than Corvinus. Bring in Paulus. Oh yes, and we contain the Brutians as well, which we want to do. We have finally wrested the Brutian Peninsula from the stalwart Brutii, and in so doing ensured Roman access to the prosperous Greek colonies of Magna Graecia, the rich island of Sicily, and beyond. With newly conquered territory comes the inevitable parcelling of land and the distribution of promises, but it's up to us to decide which township will become the Roman hub in the area. Oh, this is 100% Croton. Croton's the place that I already kind of settled on. Wine and Hills. Cloth and Farmland. Okay, Petelia is also good. And Petelia is not yet a city, so this would be a free city location. And it already produces cloth. So, the difference here... They're both farmland. Petelia would mean that Consentia is guarded by its fort, whereas Croton guards, like, the entrance. So even though I do think that Petelia at some point wants to become a city, and I would... Free city, though. Free city. Croton can be the port. I think this is going to be one of the places where we want to build extra fortifications. It just makes more sense to put it in Petelia. Petelia, the Italic bastion of Brutium. Alright, let's do it there. Free city. It's too valuable. And you are raiding us. Well, my fleet is on its way, so hopefully we can deal with you now. Are you still disloyal? Yes. Same faction, disloyal co-ruler. So it's actually your fault. Oh yeah, 29 loyalty. Oh, and also there's some serious changing in power base here. Violans has become the new ruler. And you. So really the cause of our problems is you. Gnaeus Cornelius will pay 100 ducats and gain 1 corruption. Lucius Fabius Violans will gain 100 ducats, gain loyalty, and 5 corruption. You are currently not corrupt. I mean, what I would like is to try and mend the relationship between these two. Because Violans is actually good. He's legit good as opposed to Gnaeus, who is freaking awful. It's just that Gnaeus Cornelius is super loyal. Chewy Shoot, thank you very much for the raid. Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing? What were you just playing? Imperator as well, or something else? Welcome to the stream. So, for those of you just joining us, hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I play lots of strategy stuff, just like Chewy does. We are currently playing Imperator Rome. This is with the Marius update, and also the Heirs of Alexander, but we are playing as Rome. So much of this game has changed that I decided, you know what, I'm going to play as Rome, because I need to work out how this game works again. So that is what we are doing. We've been playing for, like, 30 years. We actually haven't had much time in this yet. And we own the majority, I would say, of like the Italian mainland. We're working out a way of going after Syracuse, which will actually be our first major war. All of the others have just been against the Italian miners, and we haven't really had to expend too much energy to bring them all under boot. The latest problem, though, is our nation is ruled by 2 people. We have got Gnaeus Cornelius, who is incredibly loyal. He does everything for the Republic. The problem is he is an absolute sack of garbage. He is appalling. 0332 stats is beyond terrible. He is 73, so that's a positive. He has a co-consul, so there's basically Rome as the Republic has 2 rulers who rule side by side. These 2 hate each other. Absolutely detest each other. And unfortunately we are technically playing as Gnaeus Cornelius. Lucius Fabius Violans is his superior in absolutely every way, except for loyalty. This guy is super disloyal because of how much he hates his co-ruler. And because he is super disloyal, everyone in his family is super disloyal, including the primary general of our one and only legion. Which is causing problems, because I've been investing a fair amount of resources into building this legion up. It is powerful, and it could probably take down it could definitely take down the combined levies of everyone else, because we are still in the process of Romanizing. Because we expanded so quickly, the majority of our empire is not Roman. And in fact, if we go to our national overview, for that, we can see that of the 76% italics, so they're of our like culture group, but they're not Roman. And we have just outlawed, well not outlawed, but we have just demoted everyone that's not a Roman. And of the 76%, only 33% of that 76 are actually Roman. So we are super unstable and could really implode at any point. Tarentum in particular, which is this bit, very, very disloyal. Also very populous. So a bit of an issue. So bad things are happening. Kalinicus, thank you very much for the gift sub to Chewy Shoot, congratulations. Welcome to the Maudlings. You were playing Ambernar multiplayer with Zlowick and Habibi. Nice. I've got my community game tomorrow. I am playing as Laurent. And there is definitely a little bit of friction starting to grow between myself and Goward, though that's not really a surprise. Those two hate each other. And possibly Ambernar, the Empire. So we shall see. We shall see what happens. And what are my general impressions of the new update? I think it's a big leap in the right direction. I still think that this game is not quite there. I would say it's about 70% towards being awesome. But it's definitely far more playable now. This new levy system, I'm in love with this. I think it's really, really strong. Basically, it means that your army composition is dependent on your cultural composition. So if, for example, we as Rome conquered Egypt, our Egyptian levies would be very different from our standard Roman ones, which means that we would have access to new units like camels, horse archers and that type of thing, whereas the Romans are mostly light and heavy infantry. So it's a lot more dynamic in the places that you actually come to rule and come to conquer. Will change what levies you can have, and it also adds a lot more interesting decisions about your culture. So like I said, I'm being pretty aggressive in turning everyone into a Roman, which means that all of my levies are going to be Roman, which means I'm going to have a real weakness when it comes to cavalry and other auxiliary forces. But somebody else playing as Rome could be super inclusive and say, okay, the Italian tribes, you can stay culturally as that, and then we will have more of a range of units, but you won't have so much of a cohesion. So there's a lot more internal interesting decisions to make now, which is good. And once we've finished with Rome, so I'm basically trying to Romanize Rome, and then after that we'll probably do a more inclusive system, but at the moment we haven't done it. Hey Quackasol, how are you doing as well? Chewie has bankrupted Lawrence 5 times as Vanale. What? No. Thankfully, I'm relatively good friends with Vanale in my game. I'm allied with Nimsgard, so our rules are great powers can only have one player ally. Mine's Nimsgard. I am the #1 great power at the moment. I'm not sure how long that's going to last, though. Jadari is coming quickly. Do I have a YouTube channel? I do! It is youtube.com/MordredViking. And yes, that is true. You can indeed unlock other military traditions by integrating the cultures. Very overpowered to stack heavy infantry tradition. So yeah, one of the earliest that I'm probably going to go for is Greek. Because then I can have the Greek heavy infantry plus the Roman heavy infantry. But I like that that's possible. I like that it's dynamic and flexible depending on your actions. That's a cool thing to have done. Anyway, I need to deal with this potential civil war. Because the fact that they control the Legion is very dangerous. Although actually he's a general of the Legion, that does not mean that the Legion would follow him. Because what I have managed to do is break his popularity in the Legion. So even if he split, we would keep these guys on our side, I'm pretty sure. It would suck to lose Violence though, he is very, very good. The problem is you. When's the next election? Oh, and you've got cancer. Yeah, 73 with cancer. So all I really need to do is keep Violens on side long enough for Gnaeus Cornelius to die, and then you can take over for him. Bribe! It's time to flex our economic muscles. And now it's just Tarentum, that's disloyal. Our Rome is only made of 25% Romans. I'm surprised there aren't any huge revolts yet. I mean, we've been pretty good at keeping the loyalty up of everyone else, but that's a ticking time bomb. That is something that is definitely going to happen, definitely going to be problematic. Potius Fabius Licinius has died. He was a tribune, which means he was a military commander, I believe. Ah, and I can rotate you out and replace you with somebody rather more loyal, like Marcus Junius Corvinius. Although I do still need another commander, so who was it that's disloyal? Fabii. Who are the Fabii? The Fabii are the yellows, so we need a yellow commander. Ha! The best military commander that we have got is Mr. Disloyal himself. So we could take a huge gamble, because if we turn him into a commander, he does gain loyalty. But if that ticks away, then we've just made our co-consul one of the main military commanders. This is a Julius Caesar moment right here. Are we going to give Gaius Julius a position in the army? I think we are, because he is that good. Level 9 Marshal. He's a born fighter. And we're going to give the army to somebody neutral. Violence. 39 loyalty. So his loyalty is now, for the moment, secure. But his power base in the country is going to be rising rapidly. Volatile is fun. Yeah. I mean, this could be a great move. We could have just saved the Empire by giving the man a job. Or we could not have. Our Lucius Fabius Violent has friends far outside of our borders, often trying to use his network to the advantage of our nation. He believes his friendship with the Arbiter of Pelinia could be put to good use to increase their opinion of us. Sure. And actually, we want to take a look at Frentania. Relations 137. Do we have any more positive relations with anybody else? Any of our other feudatories? Why are you showing loyalty as opposed to opinion, when it's opinion that matters for conversion? Polinia's... Oh, it's a 93. So if we increased relations with you, we could now integrate Polinia. And we want to start integration. We have not done any of them yet. Neriskia is not. And Marcia is the guys that were super disloyal here in the middle. Well, I think that we can go and get Polinia in that case. So we're going to go ahead and do an influence action. We're going to... not influence, relations, improve opinion. And that'll get us to 193, which is enough. Why did that drop? I have Senate support. If you set the domineering diplomacy stance, it gives a boost to vassal loyalty. Oh yeah, I forgot that was even a thing. Because right now we're belligerent, which is about as bad as it could be. Apparently we can't change. Oh yes we can, they're here. So domineering, integration plus 0.25. Loyalty of subject states, and then loyalty of our subjects plus 20. Okay, so that is a toggle that we can flip. Right now I am saving the political influence because I really want to put a Temple of Diana in Croton. And I'm going to shift the capital back to Croton. Because I do want Croton to be the capital. I just want a city. I wanted the free city in Patalia. I have to say I feel... Oh, the CK2 sub-price is amazingly priced. Yeah, so that was one of the really interesting things that Crusader Kings have just done. Is much like EU4, they've now got a subscription. In fact, one of the weird things is EU4 got their subscription model thing 2 years ago. It's never been fully rolled out, though. CK2 just kind of secretly brought in a subscription, so the base game of CK2 is free. It is already free and has been for a year and a half. There is now a subscription where you can pay £5 a month and then you get all of the DLC to go with CK2, which is great. That's a really good deal. Especially for people who are new to the series who aren't quite ready to pick up CK3 at like full price. I think it's a really good move. So why the hell has EU4 not got that yet? Risk of rebellion. Provinces beneath 0 loyalty may look to rebel against their owners, seeking to create a war of independence. Care should be taken to quench or satisfy detractors before it's too late. Disloyal states may choose to join them in the wars of independence. Following states are losing loyalty may be plotting a rebellion. Tarentum. Bringing 151 pops into rivalry with us. Okay, so why is Tarentum being such a problem? And we can actually see the loyalty of everyone else, and it's super high. Oh, super high here because they are all in the Italia region. Whereas here it's dropping like a bomb because of just general unhappiness. I mean, that unfortunately is something that's just going to improve over time as we actually consolidate our hold over that region. Oh yeah, I sent the ships to go and deal with the pirates. I don't think they ever actually caught them though. After months of travel in distant Britannia, Marcus Julius Paulus has adopted an obscene form of dress. His hair flows to his shoulders. Oops. His tunic is embroidered with what appears to be the ribcage of a skeleton, and worst of all, he dons immodest barbarian trousers so tight he can barely move. The druidic rituals of the Britons are music to my ears, and I've decided we must adopt some of their practices. He hands Gnaeus Cornelius a filthy rag with a filthy sketch of a stone monument displaying a handful of crude measurements. He leans forwards and whispers, "Stonehenge. Rome shall take your hand." Starts the construction of Nemi in Albugunum. Go, Marcus Paulus, go! Spiritually we know it, but we haven't got the equipment. I mean, Stonehenge here, the hilarious thing is, this is the holy site of Mars. I don't think that Mars would be particularly happy if we built a barbarian Stonehenge here.